welcome. Welcome to my life. Thank you for joining me. And also, if you are doing a rewatch, thank you for watching. I can say that if you are watching this, then you're definitely a light worker because I like to say greetings to my light workers. Greetings to my light workers, and also, AKA, our black sheep. But our black sheep are gorgeous and they're different. And you guys, I mean, everybody's heard it. I've heard it my whole life, so it's not anything like a bad term. But everybody's like, yeah, I'm the black sheep of my family. That's okay. That is okay. The black sheep, that means we're special, we're different. We are. And it's okay to be different. Okay, so I'm gonna have kind of a heavy duty podcast this evening. And I'm going to mention that I'm going to be speaking about PTSD. I am not a physician, so I am not giving you any medical advice. This is all spiritual. And I'm sharing my story so that hopefully my story can give you some hope and give you an idea. Hello, Miss Dawn. Welcome. So I was just saying we're going to be addressing PTSD, but also like for the new year and for life, for relationships, it all goes together. But I'm going to say too, let me say this up front, please recommend my site. I really want to I need to get like up to 1,000, where I'd love to get more, obviously, but I need to get up to 1,000 subscribers. So I really need your help on getting subscribers. I want to get them like the right way, like real people. I'm not buying subscribers. I don't know, somebody was telling me that. No. And also messages. What I would love for you guys to do in the comment section, your deceased loved ones. Hello, Gabe. Your deceased loved ones give you messages. Your angels give you messages. So in the comment section, you can either just put like an angel because you feel them around you and like good things happening, you know that they are there. Or if you don't see any specific signs, you can put, because they do leave money, they leave birds, like they'll appear as birds. Some even do reptiles. And oh my gosh, flowers. I actually had one who I was scheduling an appointment, and I believe it was his dad or his granddad, but he said something to the effect of, oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome to my chat. Okay. But anyway, so I was confirming an appointment for somebody who wanted to do a reading with me. And, but I heard, put a black spider at the end. And I was like, come on, really? I don't know this person. Just do it, he'll get it. Okay. So I go ahead and I put the black spider emoji on my text. And the person came back and said, oh my gosh, my dad had a spider tattoo, or granddad had a spider tattoo. So that was the sign. Granddad is with him. And then he knows now, lucky guy and his spouse, they get to see black spiders as their signs. All right, you guys. So again, please hit subscribe, and I really am interested, and I will respond. If you have any questions, put the questions in the messages. If you want to have a session with me, you can text me or you can send me an email message, and that email address is on the page, or Facebook Messenger. Okay? So we are going to talk about a couple things. Because there's several things I actually want to discuss. And as I said earlier, 2026 is upon us. This past year, 2025, it's been a 9-year. For numerology, it goes from numbers 1 through 9. 9 is the end of a cycle. 9 is, so you guys, you have what, a day? 2 days, let's say you have 2 days. You have today and tomorrow. Things that aren't working in your life, get rid of it. Get rid of it. here's the thing. If you don't feel right about something, then listen to your gut. Listen to your sixth sense. Because the 1 year, I mean, and you guys, this also means for people holding on to mates that are just, they're not really happy with the mate. Next year's a 1 year. Or this year coming up, it's a 1 year. Brand new beginnings, brand new jobs, brand new homes, brand new relationships, brand new. So why keep stuff in your life that is stale, that doesn't serve you, that doesn't improve your life? Most of all, it doesn't make you happy. Why keep it? Get it out of the way and let the new stuff come in, okay? Because that's important. That is so important. And I do want to tell, for those of you who know me, the person that you all met like 20, 30 years ago, I am not that same person. We change, and our life experiences changes us. So there's a way of looking at it, though. You can look at it like, oh, poor me, because I do want to talk about PTSD. And I'm not giving any medical advice whatsoever. I'm not a physician. But I think everybody has PTSD. I think everybody does. You know, and it is caused from trauma. All right? Trauma. And with trauma, you can let that control your life. Or you can take control of the lesson you got from the trauma and make it work in your life to where it'll make you happy. If I didn't have everything that had happened in my life, and trust me, I've had a lot, because I'm going to share a God dream that I had 2 days ago. Yeah, only 2 days ago, right? But I have been through so much that it has enabled me, when I do readings, I see, but now, and I can feel. So it's kind of like this. I walked in your shoes, so I know how you feel. And in most situations, I can honestly say, I know how you feel. You know, I've lost babies. You know, I did go through SA when I was 13 and couldn't tell anyone about it. And this person was threatening to take my life and forced me into a car. And yeah, anyway, but here's the crazy thing. I was 13, right? But I started talking to him about, why are you doing this? What happened to you to make you do this? Because I know, because you're an attractive man, so I don't understand why you couldn't get women like the normal way, right? He sat down. You guys, we talked for 3 hours. 3 hours. I mean, of course, and I should say too, this happened after the act. And but you know, I say that my angels were completely around me because I wasn't scared. And I was, so he says to me afterwards, like after we had this 3 hour chat, would you want to be my girlfriend? I go, well, you know, I'm a little young. I'm only 13, and I think you're like a lot older than me. And he's like, yeah, but that doesn't matter. Anyway, yeah, so seriously. But as a result, I can help those of you who have gone through SA, whose family members have gone through SA. I can't say the real thing on YouTube, so you guys, SA. If you think it's something bad, you're right. It's an act. But I've been there. So I can help you with that. I can help you take your fears away. I can help you. So in addition to what your divine family and God chose me to help you, I can help you. That's why when people come for sessions, they do tune-ups. You don't have to come like every week or, you know, once a month. You know, you come at your choice, you know. I had a God dream the other night, 2 nights ago. And God had said to me, you know, you've had so much trauma. You've learned to block a lot of bad stuff out. I remember stuff, but it's kind of like I disassociate myself because I feel like a lot of times with the work I do and the gift I've had since I was a little girl, I'm heavily with the other side. And so I kind of disassociate. I don't really feel the bad things. But the bad thing with that, God said, was, but you're not paying attention to all the good things. And you've had a lot of good things happen to you, and especially since you've opened this part of you, you've had wonderful things happen to you. But you don't really share them, and you're not going out and doing things with this gift, with these gifts. So it's time to recognize it, like recognize PTSD and the things that happened. So, and honestly, so you guys, I lost a baby, and I was only 16, and it was due to a violent thing. And I was, you guys, I was in another country. I was in another country at the time. So here I am in another country at 16, and I went to a couple doctors who told me that my baby was sleeping. But as a mom, something's going on, right? But anyway, so the doctor's like, oh, the baby's just sleeping. So I said to my boyfriend at the time, I was like, they're idiots. I'm going to go to somebody who practiced in the United States. And I don't mean to be rude, but I'm just telling you this was my experience. So I did find somebody who practiced in the States, and he knew right away. So he admitted me into the hospital. But back in those days, I had to go by myself, and I didn't have family. So it was just me, right? So I'm in there. They gave me Pitocin, and they were really busy that night. Really, really busy. And the doctor, I got to tell you, was phenomenal. But I ended up having the baby by myself in this pre-delivery room. I clearly heard my mom. It was a phenomenal mom. Phenomenal. I clearly heard her say to me, don't you look. She was telling me not to look at the baby, right? And I listened. I could feel the sternness when how I heard it, and I could feel the love. So I was just like, okay, all right. I wasn't crying and stuff. I was just like listening to the moment, so to speak. So I'm like calling, hello, hello, for somebody to come in and help me, and nobody came in. So I see like they had a pitcher of water and glasses next to the bedside. I threw it down, like swept it down with my arm. The cleaning lady comes in, and she starts like yelling at me in her language. And then I was like, oh, so I speak that language. So I'm speaking the language. And then she looks at me, she's like, oh my gosh. And then again, she's like, sorry. So she helped me. She had the doctor and this and that. But because of this situation, because it took so long, I was carrying the child in utero, not alive, for a month. So yeah, again, because I kept being told the child was sleeping, I was told I could never have children. So I won't get into all of that stuff right now, but I'll tell you, I have children. I have 4 children, and I had them the natural way. I didn't do anything with in vitro. But, I went to a doctor who is now deceased who said to me, sometimes you just have to have faith. If it's meant to be, he said, Janie, it'll be. If it's not meant to be, then something else will come in your life to replace that. So 4 kids. So I know, and I can tell you too, I have had clients that had been told they can't have kids, and I get with them, I tell them what they can do, and sure enough, they end up conceiving. Because again, I can see things, God shows me things, I can help you, okay? So just know that. But again, that's another part of my PTSD that helped me to help other people. So you guys, I'm sure you have the important thing too, and this is like a whole nother topic, but it's really important to be a good mom and a good dad to your kids. The first 7 years are critical. They're crucial. Because I can say, I have seen some of these like people that have committed terrible crimes. And trust me, their stuff wasn't even close to what I've been through. But I don't have those kind of thoughts in my head. You know what I mean? I believe in kindness. I do. And I can't even kill bugs. Anyway, but I'm just saying that being a good parent and giving that good solid foundation, because also my mother knew that I was a psychic child. She knew I was a different child, and she allowed me to be different. She never corrected me, never told me it was wrong, and she gave me a lot of love and made me like strong. She allowed me to be stubborn. I was definitely stubborn. I was talking to a friend, and you guys, I remember at like 4 or 5 years old, I would cross the way over to, at the time it was a smaller street. Right now it's like Northern Parkway, it's huge. But I would cross the street and I would go in the woods and I would sit in the woods with the trees. I felt completely safe. Completely safe. But again, I was very different. And I was very close to nature, very close to animals. I still am, which is why the God dream, because I actually had helped somebody whose dog had cancer. And that's why I would love for people who have had experiences with me in the past with healing, if you could reach out to me, I'd so appreciate it. Because a lot of things that happened that were really good, miraculous, I treated it kind of like I treated the PTSD stuff that was bad. It was like, oh, that's nice. Gave all the credit to Jesus and didn't look back. So for those people who have had experiences with me, I would love for you to reach out to me again, because I want to see how you're doing. But I had helped somebody's dog who had cancer. So I was sitting on the floor with the dog, and I'm like, petting the dog, and I am instructed. First of all, I can do body scanning, so I can see inside of the dog, and I can see when there's darkness. But also, I am told what to do, where to put my hands, and it's nice because my hands burn up. Like people will say, "Oh my gosh, it's like 2 hot coals on my back." But anyway, so, and I hear God's direction. I feel God, Jesus, I hear their direction. So I do it, and the dog starts vomiting, and is vomiting like this brown stuff. So I was just like, okay, it's good. And the owner like wanted to get up, and I just said, no, I didn't put my hand up, like, no. And I was like, go ahead, good. And the dog finished. And I remember like I held its face and it was like, are you feeling better? And I could see in the dog's eyes, healed. So it was the cancer. So I said to the owner, I'm betting that this is the cancer. So let's clean it up and get rid of it. And sure enough, the dog was fine. But, it's like that kind of stuff. I've had situations with like doing healing with the animals. Church Velvet. And I offered my services, and the lady treated me like I was crazy, even though I had proof. I had 2 animals. Proof. I had proof that you see with your eyes, your ears. But nope, I guess it scares people. It scares people. But I was like, okay, well, just offering my services, but that's okay. You want to judge? Okay, shame on you. But if you have somebody that you really want to help and you feel like there might be hope, you can always contact me. You have my number. But anyway, I want you guys, what God gave me that dream to basically say, this is a new year coming up. We're going in a 1 year. This upcoming year is a 1 year, brand new beginnings. So he's kind of like showing me, look at the good stuff. Take your PTSD things, because I've been working on the bad stuff and helping people in the readings. But now he said, now I need you to use the good things, the things that you didn't believe, to be true that you disassociated from. They're true. It happened. So, and there are, people around me who have seen things and whatever. But I always use the vets because, broken bones and then they're not there. And the dog's fine. That's kind of big. But look at and I'm going to do that. That's why when I said you guys, my sessions are completely different. They will be completely different. And I really want to do a lot of work with animal healing too. But on this note, your lives. I want you guys to look at, you all have everybody has trauma. Everybody does. But you want to take it, and instead of talking about it and making it horrific and, oh, is it ever going to go away? No, it's never going to go away because it's something that happened to you. But you take something bad and you make it positive. Because that's what I've done. I was helping a lot, and I still do. I help a lot of women. And I help in situations too, which I can't say on YouTube. But no situation is something I can't help you with. And this too, your privacy is of utmost importance to me. But your privacy is of utmost importance to me. So know that, okay? Because I know it's horrible. I get so mad at some of the things that I see when somebody who is in the public eye, they trust somebody and then that person goes talking and it's no, absolutely no. Anyway, so new year, parenting. Please be good parents to your children. If you've got little children now and you are a single parent, please always put your children first. Always. If you're in a marriage, let's say you're in a marriage and your marriage isn't working. Okay, here's what you can do. Go take some time together. I cannot tell you how many couples I've said, you need to spend time together because the kids appreciate happier parents. And what do they always say? Janie, we can't afford it. Then you don't get your nails done. Or then you don't bet on a basketball game. Or, come on. So then I always say, which is always it's the truth. I hate to say this, but it is. When you get divorced, and then I say to the person, to the couple, I said, when you do, you're both going to find the money to get babysitters so you can go out on dates or with your friends. But right now you're going to give me this that you can't because you don't have the money. Well, how valuable is your relationship? So be a good parent, number one, because I'm sure you guys too are reading all this stuff about what's going on with the children. That's appalling. No man or woman should be putting their hands on your kids. Just saying. But anyway, as far as relationships, for those, because I can't do both the married, I feel with married, you need to be with your best friend. And if you like somebody, but you're afraid to talk to him or her because it's oh, it's my best friend and I don't want to ruin the friendship. No, you're supposed to marry your best friend. Your best friend is supposed to be the person that you want to be with. I love my one daughter's relationship. Love it. They're really wonderful people. And they're best friends. And their kids, phenomenal. That is your all-American family, or you're all, whatever, your healthy family. Because everybody is secure with one another. They all love each other. And they can rely on each other. I'll tell you guys, it's, as those of you that are single, it's hard. It is hard. But for dating, Don't settle for less. Seriously. Here's another thing, very important. First of all, I want to tell you this. When I do readings, so when I'm talking to you, when I repeat things, that's the other side basically pushing in my brain the repeat button. That's a message. It's a direct message that the other side is telling you, do this. Because a lot of people are like, no, it's not for me, but they still like, and I don't even know that I'm repeating it at that point. I mean, sometimes I do, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, you guys, please stop. And then it's kind of like a laugh, like, well, this one's taking a little longer to pick that up, and trying to look at all the angles because some people don't want to hear it. But it's like, just make a note of it because it might not mean anything to you now, but maybe 6 months down the road, it will mean a lot to you. Because that's what people always tell me, because I totally believe in recording your sessions. Record your sessions, because then you can play them back, and what didn't resonate now will resonate later. The other thing too, people have been known to hear things. Oh gosh, I've heard their names whispered. I've heard that people have heard heartbeat. Really awesome things. And like sounds too, but it's like kind of unusual because there was no sound at the time of recording. But the men who don't want kids, and I'm saying this now because it goes for women too. But for men who don't want kids, don't have kids. You're not going to change his mind. You're not going to change his mind. If he's decided he doesn't want kids, that's fine. Then if you really want kids, well, sadly, you must say goodbye then and meet somebody who wants children. But you don't force somebody to have a child, because this is one of the things I see. I see like the guy up front said, I don't want children. And then, but it's also his responsibility to make sure that some kind of contraception was used. But from what I've been told, they thought that that the woman was on something. But anyway, and then what happens? The marriage is ruined, or the relationship is ruined. And the female's the first one complaining. He's terrible. He doesn't want to pay child support. He doesn't want to do anything with the kids because he didn't want children. And it doesn't make him a bad person. He was honest up front. So please, I'm asking you, and it goes for women too, for guys, if your girl doesn't want to have children, then move on or accept it, But it's just not a good thing to force somebody to do something. Here's the other thing, though. There is a little window there. A lot of people may feel like in the beginning they don't want to have kids. And that's fine. That's your choice. And it's a wise choice, I mean, it takes kahunas to be able to say that and to do it. But then they meet the love of their life. And they're like, oh my gosh. And the next thing you know, then I see them later and they have all these children. I was like, oh, I thought you guys didn't want kids. But I would laugh because I would see that, it's going to change. That's different because then they didn't know each other. And then they met each other and perfect. I do want to add just a couple things. The other thing, I find that I will ask couples that are not married who have children, why aren't you married? Oh, I don't want that lifetime commitment. You have a child. In some cases, you have 3 children. That's a lifetime commitment. Oh, till they're 18. Come on. Till they're 18, kids get married. They go off to college, some, and then or then they end up getting a job, getting married, having children. So you are together, you're the parent. So you both will be going to the college or high school graduation. If there's a college graduation, then you go to a wedding. So now you've got in-laws, and now you're going to have holiday dinners together. And then here comes the grandchildren. So, yeah, that's a lifetime commitment, just having a child together. So it'd be nice, I mean, because kids need security too. I'm not saying force it, but just think about it. Another thing, for those of you who are considering and trying to have children, it's not all up to the woman. Everybody focuses on the woman. Oh, you got to watch what you eat. Watch what you do. Watch this. Watch that. You do have to be careful. Yes, you do. But your husband has to be careful too. Because his sperm is involved with the egg. So it's not a one-person responsibility. It's a two-person responsibility. And the clock's ticking. You guys, if you look up and see problems with pregnancies, I hate to say, I'm just saying pregnancies because every child is loved. I don't care. Every child is loved. And special and beautiful and loved. But as far as complications, it's not always, because that just blows my mind. A lady 35 is geriatric? Come on. Not anymore. That was back in the 40s and the 50s. Not now. Now, a lot of women take care of themselves, and and they go in and they get, the female things checked. It's like, wow, you've got a lot of ovum, you've got a lot of eggs, it's, yeah, and she's 38. Girls, I'm not even gonna say women, girls that are I'm gonna say 19 and down, their risk for problems is very high. Yes, their risk for problems is very, very high. So, the ladies, stop it with the clock ticking. Throw the clocks out the window. Just be sensible about things. And it's funny too how, in California, it's more like, yeah, live your life, get a job, travel, do this, do that. And maybe when I'm about 35, I'm going to settle down. Whereas on the East Coast, 35, by then you should be having your first grandchild. Yeah, well, at least that's how it was a couple years ago. It was a little nuts. But anyway, no clock. Throw the clock away. Because here's the thing, too. It goes into the positive thinking thing that I started to touch on, but I didn't go into. Wait, there was one more thing. One more thing I did want to. Step parents. Please. First of all, remember always, kindness is key. Be kind. Kind. And when you do good things come back to you. It sounds a little selfish to do good things for that reason, and I'm not saying do it for that reason. But if that's what's going to make you to be kind and to be happy, then fine, do it for that reason, that you'll have good karma coming back. If you get with a person who has children and you are a step parent, if you don't like that role, then I recommend stepping away. Or if you don't want to step away, just remember it's kids. It's kids involved. And granted, there's a lot of little kids that kind of can be a little off the wall. I mean, it does come from, I believe, this gentle parenting, trying to treat a child who's 3 like he's 21. That's your decision. Do you want to sit over? No. We need to kind of go back to some kind of the old school. I mean, even with just tone and stuff, and there's no negotiating, you know what I mean? And and act like throwing yourself down on a public street, that's kind of not appropriate. And I'm not going to give you your way because you're doing that. If anything, I'll meet you down the street when you're done. That's how it's done. Anyway, I say that with love and joking, kind of. But also remember too, and this kind of goes with my situation. Okay, so I kind of just, I really wanted, because after losing that child, I waited to probably like 18, maybe 18. Because when somebody tells me I can't do something or can't have something, but it wasn't a definite yet. So yeah, and I'm going to use places names because I'm tired of hiding everything. That's part of my trauma. So many bad things have happened, but I never want to disclose because of confidentiality, but whatever. And I would always do that for people, obviously, but for organizations, different story. Anyway, so when I was 18, I wanted to have a child. I wanted, because I always, as a little girl, always wanted children, always wanted 4 children, never wanted to be married, but always wanted 4 children. And I was trying, and I go to Hopkins and to apparently one of the finest specialists there, and I was told, I'm sorry, Miss Daly, you'll never bear children. And then he told me why, the complications, from what I had gone through before. So I accepted it. Okay, it is what it is. So then later, probably a year later, I met this wonderful doctor, Dr. Robert Barnett. And he looked at me and he said, young lady, you have faith in God. If you're supposed to have children, God's going to let you have them, or God knows that you'll have them. If you're not supposed to have children, then God will put something else in your life that you're supposed to be doing. And lo and behold, and mind you, I stopped trying. I gave up. I was like, I'm just never going to have kids. So that's okay. I gave up. So remember, the secret, positive thinking. I'm going to have a child. I'm going to have a child. I'm going to have a child. And then I found out, well, you're not going to have a child. Okay. But probably 6 months later, I thought I was diabetic. And I started having symptoms. Come to find out, I was pregnant with the first child. So it does happen. When things are meant to be, they will be. So positive thinking is wonderful, of course, because it does make you happier. But having faith, trusting in God that it's going to happen if it's supposed to. But if not, something else will be placed in place of it. You just got to have faith. So you guys, on that note, thank you for joining me. I'm thinking of TikTok, but I don't know, because I would love to do readings, have a night where I can do readings on the people that are, that are watching. So on that note, Happy New Year. Remember, this is the 9 year. Get rid of the junk you don't want. Get rid of it. And know that new opportunities arrive. They will arise. Just do things that are different. If things didn't work for you before, don't do it the same way. Do it differently. Communication, kindness, respect. Huge on every endeavor, especially relationships, marriage. So on that note, I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining me and for listening. Happy New Year. And remember, write in the message section. I want to see, what is your divine? They don't have dimes. I don't think they have a dime thingy. They should, because dimes are pretty active with them. All right, you guys. Thank you. Have a good night.